When the night falls and your heart still echoes the noise of the day, there is a place of rest, leaning on God, because no storm can break His promises. Here on this channel, every prayer is an invitation to find relief, to renew your hope, and to remember that God remains faithful, even when everything feels like it's falling apart. By subscribing, you're not just following a channel, you're connecting with messages that embrace your soul and rekindle your faith in the quietest hours of your journey. So now, take a deep breath. Let's come together and speak with the one who calms the winds and knows every detail of your heart. Everything is going to be okay. Those simple words carry eternal weight when they come from the mouth of God. Even when it feels like there's no way out. Even when your soul is exhausted. There is still a living promise. Christ is in control. Nothing escapes His attention. And if He said He would take care of you, then He will. Maybe tonight you're struggling with sleepless nights, overdue bills, a recent loss, or that silent fear of tomorrow. These things press down on us from the inside. They steal our peace and make us wonder if God still hears. But He hears. And more than that, He acts. Even in the silence, He is working on your behalf. God doesn't expect you to have all the answers. He just wants you to come closer, even if you feel broken. Even if your prayer tonight is only a sigh. He understands the tears you don't speak, the tangled thoughts, the unspoken prayers your heart can't form. And He is here, right now. When the storm clouds surround everything, it can feel like you've been forgotten. But the truth is, God is right there in the middle of your chaos, walking on the waters of your pain. And He comes near, gently whispering, "It is I. Do not be afraid." That's where healing begins. God's presence isn't tied to good circumstances. It's steady, even on the hardest nights. Isaiah 43 verse 2 reminds us with power, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you." It doesn't say if, it says when. Because the hard days will come, but so will God. The waters will not drown you. The fire will not consume you. This is His promise. This is truth. Even when everything around you screams despair, there is still a gentle voice saying, "You will get through this. And you won't go through it alone." The Lord walks with you, step by step. He sees when your hope feels small. When your strength runs out before the day even begins. He sees, and He stays. There is no storm too fierce for Him to reach you. No sorrow too deep for Him to comfort you. You are not alone. Maybe tonight, you feel like giving up. But God has not given up on you. He stays, even when you feel lost. He holds you, even when you feel like you're falling apart inside. His love has no limits, and no breaks. The promise from Isaiah isn't just poetry, it's spiritual reality. What burns others will become your testimony. What drowns others will become your path of growth. Because when God is present, the impossible bows down. And what looked like the end becomes the beginning of healing. Let this promise wrap around you like a blanket tonight. Even if fear tries to sneak in, speak over yourself. I am not alone. God is with me. And that changes everything. His presence doesn't always stop the storm right away. But it calms you inside the storm. Many people search for quick fixes, escapes, or answers. But there is a deeper way, to stay. Not to run from God, but to Him. Not to demand explanations, but to rest in His faithful presence. That's how peace is born. You may be walking through a valley, but you won't stay there forever. God has already prepared the other side, and He Himself will be the bridge between your now and your next. Your part is simply to trust, to rest even while you cry, to wait even when you don't understand. God knows the weight you're carrying. He doesn't ignore your fight. He sees you like no one else can. And where others only see weakness, He sees faith being formed. Every tear is an invisible seed, and in the right time, He'll turn it into a garden of hope. So often, what hurts the most isn't just the pain, but the feeling of being alone in it. But you're not. You never were. Even when you didn't feel Him, God was there, sustaining, protecting, guiding. He is the God who never abandons His own. Everything is going to be okay isn't an empty phrase. It becomes conviction when you truly know who your God is. He has calmed storms before. He has healed broken hearts. He has restored shattered lives. And He will do the same for you. No matter how strong the winds get, no matter how dark the night becomes, God remains the same. Faithful, constant, unshakable. When nothing makes sense, He is the meaning. When everything feels like it's falling apart, He is the foundation. Lean on Him tonight. Let yourself rest in God now. Even if the problems haven't gone away, you don't have to face them alone. Surrender. Trust. Breathe. God is closer than you think. And right this moment, He's whispering to your heart, I am here. And if that truth has already begun to warm your soul, get ready for what's next. Because the next part of this prayer won't just remind you of God's presence. It will reveal His power over every storm. Let's continue together. Jesus isn't just present in the storm, He reigns over it. His authority isn't symbolic, it's real. With just one word, the sea grows calm, the winds obey, and fear dissolves. Nothing is beyond the power of the living Christ. And that same voice that once calmed the sea is speaking to you right now. There is no part of your life beyond His reach. Not even the most confusing moments, the deepest pain, or the battles that make you question everything. Jesus is Lord over the crisis, over grief, over anxiety, over the waiting. He is also Lord over what you do not yet understand. And that is exactly where He wants to meet you. Some storms come when we're walking outside God's will. They're storms of correction. They call us back, like a loving father who disciplines because He loves. Other storms show up even when we're walking in obedience. Those are storms of refinement, shaping our character, purifying our faith. Both are opportunities to meet grace. God never wastes pain. Every tear you shed can become a source of growth if you surrender it to Him. What may seem like punishment could actually be love in disguise. He doesn't make mistakes in how He teaches us. Peter's story teaches us so much. He was impulsive, insecure, and often rushed ahead. But Jesus saw beyond that. He saw a leader in the making, a man who, after falling, would rise as a living rock. That same gaze of transformation is on you now. God uses our weakness to reveal His strength. What the world calls failure, He sees as potential. The very places where you feel exposed are the ones He uses to bring healing. When you recognize your own limits, you open the door for God's power to move freely. Faith has to get out of the boat. It's not enough to believe from a place of safety. Peter had to step out onto the impossible, onto the water. And even when he started to sink, he was rescued. Jesus doesn't wait for perfect faith, he responds to faith in motion. Maybe tonight, you're hesitating to take a step. But Jesus stands before you, hand outstretched. He already knows what's on the other side of these waters. You don't need to know how the journey ends. You just need to trust the one who called you to walk. Even when you can't pray, Jesus prays for you. He intercedes before the Father with groanings too deep for words. When all you can do is sigh, he translates. When you don't know what to ask, he provides. Your prayer is never lost, because Christ carries it straight to the throne. God's little signals are all around. A word at the right time, a memory, a moment that feels like more than coincidence. It's heaven gently tapping you on the shoulder, saying, "I'm here." Pay attention to the details. God's faithfulness hides even in the simplest moments. Look back on your life with spiritual eyes. You might see how many times God protected you without you even knowing. How often the answer came in an unexpected way. He was always there. Even when you doubted, he remained. That's grace, steady, constant, present. Storms are hard, but they hold spiritual value. They don't come to destroy you. They come to reveal you, and reveal who God is in you. Every wave that tries to knock you down is shaping your strength, forging your spirit. Gold is purified in fire. Roots grow deeper in strong wind. Faith doesn't grow during calm, it grows when everything shakes, and you still choose to trust. And with every step you take, God steadies your feet and expands your vision. Don't be afraid of being molded. This process, though painful, is necessary. God is preparing you for something greater, deeper, stronger, unshakable. What feels like a battle today will be your testimony tomorrow. And you will come out of this stronger, more mature, more filled with Him. Even now, as you listen to this prayer, the Holy Spirit is moving in ways you can't see. He's organizing the unseen, healing old wounds, strengthening your soul. You may not see it, but you can trust it. Because God never fails. His hand is upon you. And wherever the hand of God is, there is direction, protection, and provision. Even if the storm hasn't ended yet, know this, it won't last forever. There is an appointed end. And when the sky's clear, you'll look back and realize you were never alone. Now, with your heart a little lighter and your eyes more aware, it's time to respond to everything that's been planted here. The closing of this prayer is an invitation to trust, even without understanding. Let's finish this together. You don't need to have all the answers in order to trust. Sometimes, all God is asking is that you take a deep breath, close your eyes, and whisper, "Lord, I surrender." Even when you don't understand the reason for the pain, even when the storm hasn't passed, He invites you to rest in a care that never fails. Faith doesn't require certainty about tomorrow, just the decision to lean on the love that carries you today. And it's in that love that you can rest now. If this prayer touched your soul, if it brought peace to your heart, or simply reminded you that God is near, consider subscribing to this channel. Here, you'll find a safe space, a place where your faith is gently nourished with words that comfort, prayers that embrace, and messages that point you back to heaven. Don't walk this journey alone. Let God continue reaching your heart. Through each new video, each sacred moment of connection, Let this channel be a refuge for your spirit. Share in the comments what God spoke to your heart today. Your testimony may be the seed of hope for someone else whose heart is weary. And whenever the storm tries to confuse you, come back here. Replay this. Pray again. And remember the promise. No pain is greater than the God who loves you. Until the next prayer, may the peace of the Lord surround you, tonight and always.